Hello, today is September 25th, 2020. I'm recording this video again, apparently the first time I recorded it. Only lasted for 2 seconds. I don't know what happened. But rather than try to fix it, I'm just going to record it again. Let's start with our disclaimer. This is my plan for trading on Monday. No guarantee it's correct. Trade at your own risk. Anybody wants to contact me about anything, here's my email address. Everyone who paid for the video should have received it by now. There was one person who wrote me and said he couldn't open it. I will take care of it. Actually, it's my son who'll take care of it, and he's busy until Sunday or Monday. If anyone else has a problem, please email me. I'm going to try to handle all this within the business day, which is Monday. I'll do it sooner if I can. My son's tried to show me a number of times what to do, and I'm still not confident. He's the computer guy, and I'm going to wait for him to make certain it's all done correctly. Okay, back to business. Look for the pattern with the early low today. This was it, and Monday's pattern also has the early low. The only comment I made about today was regardless of what happened, I thought we'd see lower prices. We had a target of 32.97, lower prices at some point. We had a target of 32.97.31. The preferred time frame was yesterday. It actually printed today. So the target remained, but the time wasn't specifically called for today. We have some new targets generated by today's patterns, unless we gap up smartly. They're on the list. We have 3270.72, most likely by Monday's close. Quarter point lower at some point. And by early Tuesday, 3248.25. As always, if we gap up smartly, the numbers remain on the table, but the times aren't always going to work. Well, we had a good rally. So far, all we've done is to test the lows with the prior consolidation, and the close couldn't clear these prior highs. So it did almost everything it had to do, but not everything. And all we have to do to show this is the real thing is to continue going higher Monday, because if we stop here right at resistance, right when there's lower targets, and right after a Friday rally, which almost always carries through until Monday, if we stop here, it's very negative. Doesn't mean we will. MEJT said this rally isn't going to stick. We're going to retrace to this line. The afternoon gave an ultimate sell, said this whole rally is false. Prices are going to come down. But again, if it don't happen early next week, even though I think we'll see these numbers in the 3200s, if we don't see them early next week, I can't say when. Well, here was the general idea. We looked for a pattern in blue C comparable to blue A. I don't think blue C is over, but it certainly is not emulating blue A. This was a strong impulsive move in 5 waves. This is a 3-wave overlapping, grudging somewhat decline. So perhaps it isn't going to be as bad a decline as I originally thought. I still think we have a bit lower to go, in part because breadth is continuing to deteriorate, and you want to see some improvement in market breadth before the good rally starts. And if this is an ABC when the C is over, we should start a good rally again. But, I mean, I had much lower targets, and I'm not convinced they're going to print at this point, because this is just a grudging decline rather than an impulsive one. Well, I don't really rely on Elliott waves at this point in the pattern. I think there are far too many ways to count them. You just can't be sure it's the right count. But if we do stop here, which again I'm not predicting, but if we do stop here, you've got great wave balance right at the high. Other targets might work too, but if we stop here with this wave count, with the MEJT targets, and with stopping at prior consolidations, if we stop here it's negative. And I think we'll find that out early Monday. These are the patterns for next week. Monday's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up. Strength like today is nearly always carries over into Monday's open. But gap down instead, which I'm not predicting. If that happens, it's very negative. Rally has a few flaws. Doesn't mean it stops right here. Flaws are I left a bunch of MEJT targets behind. Unless we gap up smartly, they're favored to print. We couldn't close over recent highs. And there's a wave count with strong Fibonacci balance right at the high. If there weren't a wave count, it's pretty unlikely that was the high. If there is a wave count, it really isn't a guarantee that is the high. It doesn't work in reverse. Bulls need only to continue where they left off on Monday to show the rally was the real thing. Failing to do that's quite negative. Intermediate term, still think this decline has more to go on the downside, probably at least into the 3100s. But longer term, we're not making an impulsive move lower. So perhaps the pullback won't be as great as I thought it would be. So we'll summarize stuff. It's a strong rally. It did stop pretty much right at the target and right at resistance. Strong rallies on Fridays almost always carry through on Monday. What you really want to do is see this late high overtaken and reasonably quickly, because Monday's pattern does have the early low. So if we don't overtake it quickly, it's vulnerable to moving down pretty early. And if we do move down early, you can explain this as the end of this leg. So we're going to find out, I think, early Monday, in the pattern with the early low, if this has more to go, or if it does not. Early low Monday, and that's today's call.